Do you mean 7 billion people? Like 7 billion people are your customers? That means you want to sell to literally everyone. How is that even possible? Well, let's find out together in this video why that might be a wrong perception. If you've watched the last two videos that we've put out on market research and business plans, it means that you are gearing up to start your own business. And that means today we'll be taking two elements of one from market research, one from business plan, and doing an extended explanation of that on how it relates to your target market and why you also need to do a SWOT analysis of yourself before you actually start the business. So most times, like I've said earlier, when you talk to entrepreneurs or business owners and you ask them, who are your customer, or who are you selling this product, or who are you selling this service to, tell you, everyone is my customer. Yes, that means you want to sell to 7 billion people, like I've said earlier, which might not be possible, because when you look at that, you have to figure out from a marketing standpoint, what will it cost you to be able to market your goods and your services to 7 billion people? That's a whole lot. Even in ad spend alone, or maybe social media platform, if that's a strategy you want to pursue, you're probably going to spend a fortune trying to reach out to all of those people. If you say, oh, you want to consider traditional marketing, then that's going to be a whole lump sum of money that you need to spend in selling to everyone. So you see why that is a thought that you should not have, that, oh, I want to sell to everyone. So but I want to show you what you need to do when it comes to talking about who do you want to sell your product to. And that's called target market. You need to be able to identify the specific set of people that your products are, that will be interested in your product and that you should sell your products to. So let's take an example of somebody who sells shoes, for instance. And the person says, oh, I want to identify my target market. How do we do that? If you're in one of our coaching sessions, we'll be able to take you through that process. But hey, you're still enjoying our coaching session through this video. So that means one of the first things you want to look at is, oh, who are the people do I want to sell my shoes to? You say, oh, you sell corporate shoes. That means I probably want to sell corporate shoes to bankers. Now you see how we're clarifying the thought. Okay, there are bankers everywhere. There are bankers in Nigeria, there are bankers in Ghana, there are bankers in Switzerland. Where are those set of bankers that you want to sell those shoes to? Say, okay, I want to sell my shoes to bankers in Lagos. Now you get the idea of when we talked about target market, right? You are zeroing on the specific set of people so that when you see a banker on the road, you can be able to say, oh yes, this is actually the person that needs my product. And then you can craft a unique selling point on why they actually need the product. In this instance, the shoes that we're selling. When you have all of those points figured out, you can now say, we're selling shoes to bankers in Lagos and Port Harcourt. We're selling shoes to bankers in Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Abuja. Now you can expand the scope of your target market, but then you get the gist that, oh, the main core of your target market or your target audience is bankers. You can decide later on to shift to other segments. That's where we now bring in the idea of market segmentation. To now say, oh, now that I'm well established selling corporate shoes to bankers, oh, do I want to start selling corporate shoes to pastors or to religious people? Now you can now say that, oh, this is a new different target market. One of the reasons why this is important is because it allows your brand to have a voice with which you sell to these different people. If you're just saying, come and buy shoes, come and buy shoes, yeah, people would buy from you, no doubt. But you're like saying, oh man, you look good when you go to the office with these corporate shoes. Now you're making that message to be able to resonate with the needs of those people that you have identified as your target market, and they'll be more willing and open to buy from you. Now you understand what target market is, right? And I believe for your own business, you can be able to create and identify those people that should be your target market, right? So because when you do that, you can now make realistic projections of what you want to do in terms of marketing. You cannot say, how many bankers are there in Lagos? Now you're refining that target market to say, oh, are there 5 million bankers in Lagos? Okay, that's good. Of those 5 million bankers, how many of them do I want to sell to? Yeah, again, I'm going to talk about another assumption that most business people say, do, and I hope you're not one of them. You say, oh, since there are 5 million bankers in Lagos, once I get a 1% or a 10% of that market, then I will build a big business, or I'll build a thriving business. Well, that's an assumption that doesn't work that way. That means, that's to say that all of the resources that you need to deploy to be able to reach that percentage that you are estimating, you need to be able to factor that into your plan, factor that into your strategy. So it's not wise to just say, oh, I want to reach 10% of this market. How many would that 10% be? Let's say 10% of 5 million, maybe you have 500,000. Oh, what are the resources that you need to deploy to sell to 500,000 bankers? When you think about it that way, it will help you to clarify what you're doing. It will help you to now set realistic goals that you can meet, realistic marketing goals that you can meet, realistic operational goals that you can meet, realistic people goals in terms of, if you're selling to 500,000 people, I guess you are not the only one who will be selling those shoes. It means that you need to employ people, sales people, you probably need to employ customer reps that are going to be in the stores attending to customers, right? So you already see that this is going to create resource constraint for you, because now you need to spend money to hire people. Or you probably will be dispatching those orders to those people. Even if they would have to pay for their delivery, that's still going to be some element of planning and risk in terms of putting up together all of those logistics that will allow that to happen. So but when you have a clearly defined market audience, you have a clearly defined target market that you want to sell to, it helps you to clarify your strategy, it helps you to clarify your plans, both marketing plan, operational plan, and as you grow, you can now begin to build on those plans that you have. You shouldn't start your business if you've not not actually thought about, oh, who am I going to sell to? But that will lead me to talk about the second element, which is SWOT analysis. Yes, you need to do a SWOT analysis for yourself as a business person running that business, and you also need to do a SWOT analysis for the business. I know you're wondering, what is SWOT? What's SWOT analysis? Yes, SWOT analysis means you're identifying what your strengths are, identifying what your weaknesses are, you're identifying the opportunities that might be for you or for the business, and you're also identifying the threats that you probably need to mitigate when you start that business. And so, but we'll take the personal, because you, the entrepreneur starting the business, or you, the business owner, you need to always start some of these things from yourself, right? So what are your strengths? Oh, maybe I'm a good critical thinker. You write that down, and you can list all of the things you are good at and say, oh, maybe I have a degree in shoemaking, or I have a technical skill in shoemaking. That becomes your strength, because of the degree that you have, because of the technical skills that you have, you can be able to, from the product perspective of building or making shoes, you can be able to make quality shoes. Oh, okay. Now that you've identified those strengths, move on to weaknesses. What are your personal weaknesses as a person? Oh, I don't like to sell. Oh, I procrastinate a lot. Oh, I don't have good time management skills. Now, all of these things, the reason why it's called weaknesses is because they would have an impact on the business. For instance, if you don't know how to sell, in the first case, how do you intend to not sell to everyone? Or how do you not intend to sell to 7 billion people, right? So, but identifying all of these things makes you to know areas where you are good at, areas where you are weak at, weaknesses, right? You can now move on to opportunities. Oh, what are the opportunities that I have as a person? Oh, maybe I have 10 people within my contact list that have been asking me to come up with a business plan that they would fund. Okay, that's an opportunity, because you know that now that you are putting together all of the things, all of the plans from watching all of our videos, you can now come up with that plan that you can send to them. That's an opportunity. You can also identify other opportunities. Okay, what are the other opportunities that are here? Oh, I know somebody who knows somebody who has machineries that I can easily carry my materials to their factory, and then they can be able to produce all of the shoes that I have. Okay, that becomes an opportunity, because when you start the business, you probably need some of those partnerships to be able to get started at the initial stage of the business. Now we move on to threats. Okay, what are the threats that will likely face this business? Oh, maybe you're going into a business where there are a lot of people that are already existing in that market. That can also be a threat, because now you're having a lot of competitors. Now you have to find and figure out, oh, what exactly is unique to the shoes that you want to sell. Now I'm not limiting it to shoes, right? But you get me. I'm just using shoes as an example. Whatever your business idea is, I'm just saying that you have to figure out what's the unique selling point of that business idea that you're planning to start, or that you're doing all of this work for. And so when you look at it that way and you identify all of those threats, you cannot be able to define strategies to be able to mitigate strengths. Some of them you might not be able to mitigate. You can look for alternative way. Oh, how do I work around this strength? Opportunities are for you to capitalize, to say, oh, since I have these opportunities, how can I capitalize on them to be able to build a solid foundation for my business? Your strengths, of course, they are your strengths. They are going to be the foundational tools that you will use in building your business. But again, your weaknesses, you have to pay attention to your weaknesses, because it's either you decide to build up the competency that will allow you to overcome some of those weaknesses, or you hire people that are going to work alongside you in that business to be able to overcome those shortcomings that you have. But hey, I want to tell you, if you have sales as your weakness, even though you hire sales people, you as a founder needs to know how to sell, because even talking to people about the business, you need to be able to sell that business to them. Even talking to employees that you want to bring into the business, you need to be able to sell the business, sell the idea of the business to them. So this is not part of those things that you have to run away from, right? Yeah, I know. But not to worry. Now we'll go and dive into the business aspect of things. Now, what's the SWOT of the business? What's the strength of the business? What's the weakness of the business that you want to start, or the business idea that you want to start? What are the opportunities that are existing within that idea? What are the threats to that idea that you want to start? So for our shoe business, again, you say, oh, part of the strengths of the business is maybe there are very few people that are focused on selling shoes to bankers. Oh, that can be a strength, because now you know that by the time you start marketing, you can now be able to market well to that target market that you have defined. And then you can also now look for other complementary products or services that you know would also attract this set of people, to also improve your unique selling point and also improve the value that you are offering to the target market and to your audience. So when you identify all of those strengths, you can list them down. Oh, this is one of the strengths. This is one of the strengths of the business. This is another strength of the business. Then you can now look at the weaknesses. What are the weaknesses of this business? Oh, maybe there are a lot of people that manufacture shoes. Yeah, that's people like to go for foreign shoes. Some of these things are threats to that particular business. Oh, you need to also look at, how can I mitigate this threat? There are a lot of people that like foreign made shoes. Do I probably brand my shoe to look a little bit foreign? You might want to consider that. Or do I want to have as part of my strength to say, oh, should I push local made, quality local made, and push that, or handcrafted, like we see as a strategy to say, okay, this is the market I'm going for. But all of that will come when you've looked at all of the definition about your target market. What are the things that resonate with them? What are the things that they'll be most interested in? That can now allow you to make the right decision in terms of what's the specific strategy you need to pursue, right? So it still falls back to identifying, who do you want to sell these shoes to? Are you selling shoes to people bankers who like handcrafted shoes? Are you selling shoes to bankers who like foreign made shoes because, again, they want to look good in the boardroom and the likes, right? So you understand. Now I'm giving you how to think around when you want to create your target market audience, and you want to identify them, and you want to craft strategies around that. But now we move to the opportunities. What are the opportunities that are existing within that business niche that you want to go into? For our shoe business, part of the opportunities is that the friend that you have that can be able to you can talk to their factory. In that instance, that becomes an opportunity, because again, now you can, growing businesses do not have money, right? So you might be able to negotiate, oh, can I get this stock from you and pay you proratedly as I sell, or make some sort of arrangement? Can I give you a 30% upfront payment, and then the other 70% come in after I've made certain amount of sales? Now that's an opportunity for the business, because why? From your own personal opportunity, you have a relationship with someone that has a factory. And it might not necessarily be that, but when you look at your unique skills and your unique set and unique resources that are available to you, you cannot be able to outline the opportunities that are unique to you and the business idea that you want. Again, you also now have to look at what are the threats to this business. So from the discussion, we've seen that, foreign manufacturers can also be a threat to the business. And we've also talked about how to try and mitigate some of those things. But then when you pay attention to these things, it allows you to build a robust strategy that when you now start the business, you will not be running from pillar to post just because you're trying to respond to issues that you've not thought of, circumstances that you've not thought of that are coming up. And say, people are not buying my shoes. You can, when you have a specific target market and you're selling to them, if they're not buying, you can be able to now say, do I switch to a different target market or a target segment in this instance? That might now become a strategy. Or, why they're not buying? Is it that my message is not resonating with them? Now you know how to troubleshoot, but not when you say, you want to sell to everyone. Where do you even start from? 7 billion people, 7 different preferences, perceptions, and things that they like. Some might like this, some might like that. But you have to narrow down on these two key concepts. One of the things that we've done for you is that in the description of this video, we'll put certain materials that will help you. Some of them are going to be personality tests for you as the business owner to be able to say, okay, what are my personalities like? So from there, you can be able to identify, these are areas of my strengths, these are areas of my weaknesses. And then we'll also put some of the SWOT analysis templates that you can use for your own business and how you should be able to go about them to be able to create a thriving, profitable, and sustainable business. I remain your friend, Aruta Say. And hey, come on, you're forgetting to click on the subscription button, right? Just click on it now. Share this video with other entrepreneurs that are in the same stage, that are finding some of these things challenging, so that they can have the same information that you're having. And we are here to support small businesses and to ensure that every business is thriving, every business is profitable, and every business is as well sustainable. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.